And welcome back to another episode of Off the Ropes with John and Josh. I am Josh.
And I'm John.
And we are on episode 16. That's right.
Ladies and gentlemen, if our episode numbers were title championship reigns, we'd be tied with Ric Flair. And who's that guy that has the other 16?
Well, since you mentioned him, there is actually a story about said guy in our awesome place that we like to call Breaking Kayfabe. That's right, everybody. This is the part of the show where we like to chat a little bit about the news. And since Johnny Boy, this one up, I guess we'll start with it. Little Mr. John Cena. That's right. John Cena recently got married to his girlfriend. I'm going to butcher her last name. It's Shay Shariatazadeh. I don't know if I said that right. I'm sure I did. We're just going to call her Shay. We're just going to call her Shay. That's all. But they recently got married. I'm sure John has all the feels on this one, Johnny Boy. So, John, tell me your thoughts on John Cena tying the knot.
I mean, I'm so confused by it more than I had feelings about it. I mean, he was with Nikki Bella for quite some time, and like, we should get married finally, but I can't marry you.
I feel like he gave her every excuse in the book to not marry her, to not have a kid with her. You know what I mean?
But then he finally proposed at like WrestleMania, and everybody was like, "Oh my god!" And then he was like, "Yeah, about that."
I think he did that because he felt like he had to. I really do. I felt like he had to, but he didn't actually want to, and that's why that relationship ended.
It's just crazy. I mean, both of them have moved on respectfully in good ways. And it's amazing because they've both come so far since the relationship ended. I mean, she's pregnant. She's happy. He's got a girlfriend, got married. I mean, good for Cena.
Yeah. I mean,
getting married.
But see, I'm really concerned for him because, you pay all this money for a wedding, for wedding pictures and wedding video. But, like, what's the point when they can't even see you in it?
I knew that was coming somewhere. I was like, "Oh, where's it going?"
Oh shit, that was good. I feel good about that one.
They should do? They need to cast John Cena in the next Dracula movie because he doesn't have a reflection anyway.
I like it. I thought you were going to go with like the next Invisible Man movie. Seemed like.
I mean, that would have been more obvious. But I mean,
fair enough. All right. So I don't know how to jump into the next story, so I'm just going to do it. WWE has recently posted about their new crop of recruits for NXT, for the Performance Center. I have a picture here. Where is it? There it is. Ooh.
And we know one of them.
This thing's just acting up on me today. There we go. There it is. All right. Yes, we have a picture here.
Yep.
Look at that.
And as I stated, Josh and I know the gentleman in the front row, far left, with the tattooed arm.
Yes.
That is none other than Joe Gacy.
This looks like the sweatiest gangbang to go on. I'm just putting that out there. 7 dudes, 1 girl.
I'm going to just say, though, from this group of recruits, she, besides Joe Gacy, looks like the toughest badass in that picture.
I know, right?
Like, you got Porn Stash in the back who looks like he could be like,
Let's bring that back up.
I mean,
I'll be totally
dude. Up, okay,
dude. I'm gonna be totally honest with you. I saw that dude in the back, and I'm like, yo, did they slap a porn stash on Drew McIntyre?
Well, follow me in this journey as we go across the back row really quick. You got Porn Stash.
Yes.
Next one over, you'll get this. You've got the Smallville Arthur Curry.
Okay, yep.
Okay. The next one over, Discount Captain America. Okay. Next one over, Discount Neville.
Oh my God.
Dude looks like a sweet Neville knockoff.
He does.
Like
he
you
does.
go to the dollar store and you pick up a toy for your kids, but you can't be that licensed wrestler. No.
True.
So we can't call him Neville or Pac. So let's call him Knock for knockoff.
Okay, I like it.
Next to that, you've got the guy who can't go within 300 yards of his school. In front of him, you've got Discount Kofi Kingston.
It's true. I'll be honest, dude looks like he should be in fucking high school. Like, I don't know how old he is, but he looks so young. He's like the same height. I mean, if they're all standing at the same level, he's the same height as the girl that he's standing next to, who I don't know what her name is yet. When I switch over to that, I will read out their names. But
she looks like she could be either a Discount Dixie Carter and or Katie Lee Burchill.
Yeah, she's way hotter than Dixie Carter. Come on, man. What are you doing?
She is hot. I will give her that. And then you got Joe Gacy.
Hell yeah. He looks like the most menacing. He's the most menacing looking one. Probably followed by Discount Captain America over there.
Yeah,
other than that. Yeah, so. All right, so let's get into some of these people here. All right. So, according to the WWE website, it says a new class of recruits has reported for training. They can count among the ranks independent wrestling standouts as well as NCAA All-American wrestlers. We have Brandy Powelek, known on the independents as Brandy Lauren. She's an exciting competitor who has stepped in the ring from Evolve and Shine.
Oh, that makes sense then with that recent buyout.
Then we have got Cameron Rogers, 6'1" Texan, who competes under the name of Kurt Stallion. Rogers broke out in 2019 in Evolve Wrestling. He battled the likes of Matt Riddle, Cameron Grimes, Dexter Loomis, and someone named Mansoor. I don't know what that is. We've got Anthony Green. He is described as a flamboyant Massachusetts native and standout grappler from Evolve Wrestling. A lot of Evolve people coming over. That's with the three so far have been involved in Evolve.
Yep.
Then we've got D'Artagnan Ruffin, better known as Leon Ruff, former Evolve Tag Team Champion, energetic 24-year-old. He does look young, so I was right. He definitely looks young. Then we've got Joseph Ruby. 6 foot, 249-pound powerhouse from New Jersey, competing as Joe Gacy. He's a former 3-time Combat Zone Wrestling heavyweight champ and Evolve Tag Team Champion.
Well, like I said, they bought out Evolve, so it makes sense.
Yeah. All but one are from Evolve, which we'll get to. We got 3 more. We got Joshua Bruns. It says he's an imposing figure standing 6'8". I think that's Discount Captain America because he's the tallest one of the bunch. Weighing 268 pounds as Josh Briggs. He's been the Evolve champion and battled the likes of Matt Riddle, John Morrison, Angelo Dawkins, and the NXT United Kingdom champion Walter. Then we got Jake Clemens of Ohio is a referee who has officiated matches on Monday Night Raw as well as for promotions like Evolve and AIW. And then finally, Jacob Casper, 25. This is the only person not from Evolve. Jacob Casper is a 25-year-old amateur wrestling standout from Lexington, Ohio. Casper wrestled at Duke University, where he was a 2-time NCAA All-American and won the 2018 ACC Heavyweight Championship, also placed in the 2016 Olympic trials. This guy sounds like he's the next Kurt Angle or something. You know what I mean? You know,
He's
All American, has, you know, Olympic stuff going on for him. So interest. Any of these people stand out to you? Obviously, we know Joe Gacy sticking out to you because
I was going to say I would Gacy.
Yeah.
I mean the All American sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's true. It's damn true.
Yeah, I'm intrigued by Discount Captain America there. Big guy. See if he can move. Because like we get a lot of those really big guys, tall guys, but all they do is lumber. Look at the Great Khali, he just lumbers around. But I'm hoping that this guy can actually move and do a variety of moves as opposed to just a couple.
While we're discussing that, I think this is a good time to talk about when WWE gets big guys that know how to move and then limits them. Because they had one and they let him go, and he signed with other guys.
And then we see what he can do over there, man. Tell you what. I mean, you and I already knew what he could do, but.
Oh, I think we're talking about two different guys then.
Oh, really? Who are you talking about?
You're talking about Mr. Brody Lee.
I am.
And yes, Mr. Brody Lee can kick some ass. Because when it's Wednesday, it's clobbering time.
So who are you talking about?
I'm talking about a former NXT talent who got told by Dusty Rhodes, son, when it doesn't work, just put on the mask. I am talking about Luchasaurus.
And you know what? That's another quality pick right there. Yeah. He's awesome. I love Luchasaurus. He's one of my favorites.
I mean, I know he's still a little green and he's still a little fiery sometimes, but that man can move, and that man
I love that. I love the fire that he's got, man. I love that.
Oh, dude. I love it, too.
There's so many regular wrestlers who don't even have anywhere near that. And it's like,
oh,
fuck.
I completely agree with you.
Yeah.
He's completely agree with that.
Right. Speaking of fire, I don't know why, but this next item is totally fire, and I know me and you both want it.
You know, it's not that I want it.
Oh, okay? You want. You need it.
No. It goes far beyond want. I've been trying to come up with, like, you've got Elf on a Shelf. You've got, I mean, I need that in my life.
You need the Fiend on the scene? Because that's what they're calling it. The Fiend on the scene. Look at this thing.
Rhyme.
Dude, look at this thing. His arms look like little penises. And you're not going to be able to get that out of your head now.
I mean, just imagine you get Elf on a Shelf and you tell your kids, you got to be good, because if you're not, if you don't behave, you know,
the Fiend
will come. Going to report it back to Santa Claus. But instead, no, you don't leave an nasty note from Santa to scare your kids. You fucking swap the Elf on the Shelf with that little son of a bitch. And when they wake up in the morning, you're like, see what happens when you're fucking bad? The fucking elf turns into a fucking demon.
Dude, I love it. I fucking love it.
Yeah, I mean,
so it says, okay, so it's Bray Wyatt, the Fiend doll. It is supposed to be a parody of Elf on the Shelf, obviously. The description from the WWE shop provides is it's the Fiend on the scene Bray Wyatt holiday plush toy. It is only $20, people. So this thing should be sold out. I'm just saying, like, they should be. It should be like nothing left. People should be buying these like crazy. I'm gonna buy one.
If anybody wants to buy me one for Christmas, I'm a size yes.
That's the perfect size, John. It's the perfect size.
I mean, I'm just saying. Right. I'm not going to say no to I mean, put it up there one more time.
Ooh, hold on one second. There we go.
I mean, look at that. I want one.
It comes in its own little cool bag and shit. Dude, I would
use that bag as a dice bag.
Literally almost said that. Was literally going to say that. That would be my new dice bag.
Oh, he's so awesome. I want him. Like, I want him.
I know. It's fantastic. I kind of want to, like, I'll be honest, if I'm able to take the hat off, I might make him for all holidays. Get a little tiny, like, leprechaun hat. You know, get like a little Get like a little dude, a top hat would be awesome. Get a little tiny like trucker hat with an American flag on it for 4th of July. Get like a turkey hat.
Oh man!
Put him in like a ghost. Like put a sheet over him, like he's dressed up like a ghost for Halloween. It could be universal, bro. I mean, it could be universal.
You know what the funny thing is?
Coming back.
That all works really good until one day you can't find Mr. Bray Wyatt, and you walk into your daughter's room and she's having a tea party with him, and you're like, "Well, what are you doing, honey?" And she goes, "He said let me in."
I feel like I could see my kid doing that. Yeah. All right. Speaking of being let in, WWE Chairman Vince McMahon is hoping to let in a couple of wrestlers into WrestleMania 37. He is hoping to have back 2 previous wrestlers who have been out for a little bit. I didn't tell you who it was, so I wanted this to be a surprise. So the 2 that he's hoping to have back and hoping to have them face off against one another: Ronda Rousey, Becky Lynch. That's right. That is his hope. He's hoping to book them in a match for the show. Looks like Becky is due to give birth in December. And obviously she'll need to notify the company and everything with that. But Vince has said that he is hoping for Becky to be back in January or February to start the one-on-one feud with Ronda Rousey. Now, half of this story I'm thrilled with. Half of this story I'm appalled by.
Yeah, I know. You're totally appalled by the fact that Becky's going to come back. I know. Because you love that Ronda Rousey.
Oh, yeah. You know, she's the real man.
No, let me tell you what I think about this storyline.
Do it.
Now, agreed with you. Half that storyline is awesome. Why does it got to be Ronda Rousey? I mean, there's a bunch of other women right now who are showing you that with the exit of Becky Lynch, they are stepping up their game.
Yeah.
Dana Brooke, Mandy Rose, Liv Morgan, Ruby Riott. A lot of these girls have stepped up to show you, Vince, they've got what it takes. Stop setting the women's division back.
I get it.
Need Ronda Rousey.
No, you don't. And you want to know the whole thing about this, what he's trying to do here? He wants WrestleMania to be the show that says WWE is back. You know what I mean? He says, he's quoted saying, "We can't do Becky versus Ronda in the Thunderdome with no fans. I want the fans back, and they will be back by the time Mania rolls around." First off, you don't fucking know that. Fuck you, man. You have no idea. Maybe, but we don't know. The way this fucking country's going, who the fuck knows, man?
So,
fuck.
Here's my thoughts on this. First off, you can do, if theoretically that is the match you're going to do. We've gotten matches of great quality lately, and you've been doing them in the Thunderdome. What makes fucking Ronda Rousey so fucking special? Stop making her something she's not.
Yeah. I have gone off more than my fair share of times about how much I do not like Ronda Rousey.
It's not just her, though, dude. I mean, like, they did the same thing months ago with Shayna Baszler.
Mm-hmm. They were like, the nice thing is, though, they pulled back on her and kind of recalibrated, and I don't mind her anymore. No. You know what I mean? She's just doing the WWE wrestling thing now, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah. But I mean, like, you don't just walk up to somebody and like, okay, I'm gonna take this to another level for a second, because I know how you feel about this person, or at least did back in the day. Hey, Josh, have you watched Disco Inferno lately wrestle?
No, I have not.
Dude, Disco Inferno is the greatest wrestler ever. You need to watch all his matches right now. What are you doing? Go on the network. Start watching Inferno. Dude, he's the greatest wrestler ever. You're going to love him. And if you don't, I'm going to make you love him anyway. Disco Inferno. He was a dancer. Oh, watch him dance.
Yeah, I mean, I would much rather see Disco Inferno versus Becky Lynch than Ronda Rousey versus Becky Lynch again.
Well, I mean, okay, so while we're talking about WrestleMania 37 for a second, let's talk about the one other person they want to bring back for WrestleMania, The Rock. Now, we all know the storyline that they want to do. They want to do The Rock versus Roman, but there's a problem. The Rock isn't covered by WWE insurance anymore, and therefore, he can't wrestle in a WWE ring. How are they going to get around this? Because this is why we haven't gotten some of the Rock matches in the last few years. Because he refuses to get a lot of his own insurance to do it, because what if he gets hurt while he could be off doing something else?
Then maybe Vince should fucking suck it up and get the insurance. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
That's on Vince. That's 100% on Vince.
That's what I'm saying.
If he wants The Rock in the ring, then he needs to be making sure that guy is insured, because he has a something happens to him, that's fucked.
Now, this is how I got to reposition here for a second. I'm sorry, people. This is how I want to see this match play out. I do want to see The Rock versus Roman Reigns, but not for the reason that everybody else wants to. I don't want to see The Rock get the championship. I want to see heel Roman Reigns in the middle of the ring. Call me Chief. Call me Chief. And Roman's like, no. And then like they go back and forth. There's the big hits. There's the smell. There's the hit. There's the rock bottom. He goes for that people's elbow though, and Roman Reigns turns around and just goes boom, punches him right in the face, lays out the Rock. You get Rikishi. You get the Usos. You can pull out anybody from that lineage. You can pull out Tamina. You can pull out Nia Jax. Anybody who else that falls into that family that's still alive. And they come down to the ring and they're trying to separate The Rock from Roman. And they're like, no, no, no. And Roman's like, let him at me. Let him at me. Come on, bro. Oh, my God.
Dude, I think it would be amazing. And if they truly want to put Roman over, having him get over The Rock, like they get one up on The Rock, that's probably your best way to put over a heel Roman Reigns.
Oh, absolutely. There needs to be one more thing, though. When he beats The Rock, he needs to not just beat The Rock. He either needs to beat him with the rock bottom, the sharpshooter, or it needs to be one of those moments where, like, he hits the Superman punch, backs back into the corner, hits the Superman punch again, cocky pins him, and then while The Rock is still laid out, he hoists the championship up and has 1 foot on The Rock's chest where he's just like, I beat the fucking great one. Now I'm that guy. I am the chief. I am the great one. I'm the dog who runs this yard.
Yeah, he has to do his line. This is my island now. You know what I mean? So that's his new line, and I love that. You know, I am the chief, and this is my island. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
dude.
I mean, he's literally look at the acclimates that he has started to build for himself, man. I mean, he beat Taker in his yard. He's the chief. He has this momentum, and WWE was finally like, well, I mean, let's make him a fucking heel. What do we got to lose at this point?
Yeah, he has more momentum now than he ever had.
Yeah,
like, people are behind him. They like this heel side of him.
Yeah,
more than they've ever liked him before. The WWE needs to capitalize on it.
And that's it. I don't think WWE was expecting this. I think they were like, oh, man, if we do this, fans are going to turn on him. No, this is what fans have wanted. We didn't want Seth Rollins to blast the Shield in the back with the chair. We didn't need the lunatic fringe to lose his shit. We wanted Roman. And this is the Roman Reigns we have wanted.
Yeah. Like, I remember for so long, you did not like Roman Reigns.
No.
But here we are. Here we are. You loving that Roman.
Yeah,
buddy. Chick. Pow. Oh, man. Just thinking about it makes me excited. Gets me tingly.
I got goosebumps.
Yeah, goosebumps. Tingly.
Tinglies in my man loins.
All right. So this next story, Okay, so for those of you who don't know, a little behind the scenes stuff. When I do prep for this show, I tend to use Pro Wrestling Sheet to get a lot of my news from. They've been really good. They're really good about getting news up and having it organized in a really nice way. Well, it seems that might not be the case anymore. As the editor-in-chief, the guy who created the site, who ran the site, Ryan Satin, he announced, I think a little over a week ago, that he was leaving Pro Wrestling Sheet. This is Ryan Satin. He does currently work for Fox Sports. He does their WWE coverage, as you can see here on FS1. He has the Satin Sheet where he covers all the WWE stuff. But I don't know if the way because on his final podcast, he made it almost sound like it may not have been his choice. I'm not 100% sure. He didn't dive into anything. Just the way he talked, it almost sounded like that could have been the case. And for those of you who don't know, Pro Wrestling Sheet a couple of years ago was bought out by Collider. And at the beginning of 2020, Collider dumped almost all of their content, fired most of their staff, most of their video content was gone. Like movie talk, Jedi Con, all the stuff that they did, all the stuff that I watched, gone. But Pro Wrestling Sheet stuck around, because it was kind of like its own entity, but they just owned it. And so he said that he was told that they have plans to keep the site running. Okay. This was, I think, October 2nd that he posted that he was leaving. It is now, as of this recording, October 17th. So that's over 2 weeks. And nothing on the site has been updated since September 28th.
Damn.
There's not been a new news story since the last episode of this show when I did research for news articles. Yeah. So letting this site just kind of lay dormant for 3 whole weeks doesn't make me think that they will have any real interest in keeping it going. If they really wanted to keep it going, they would have gotten somebody in there. They would have kept news stories coming, because it's not like you can't keep writing news stories about things that are happening, even if you may not have sources and stuff. Like, he left, but you had other news writers. You know what I mean? So why haven't there been news stories? Why wasn't the draft covered? And all that other stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like, it doesn't seem like Collider, the guy who runs Collider, he's so absorbed in this fucking like deep fake bullshit. It's ridiculous. It's so fucking stupid, and I hate it. And when he dumped all the shows, I had a big long fucking rant about it on one of my other shows. But yeah, it is. Yeah, I don't want to get into it again, but yeah. So I don't know if you were super familiar. I know that I had you listening a while back to those Raw and SmackDown recap podcasts.
Oh yeah, I listened to a couple of them here and there, but
it was John Roca and him and Ryan Satin. He was the other guy on the show. So you at least have a little bit of familiarity with the guy. So what are your thoughts on all this? I know I've been talking here for a bit, but what are your thoughts on all this?
No, you're good. I mean, this isn't one of those ones that really affects me. It affects you more, because both of you and I pull from different sources anyway, and I think that's really fun. And I send you a lot of... See, Josh usually has the list of everything we talk about. I get a view at it usually. This week we went into things a little differently. We both got some shit going on still, so... But I usually, when we're looking up articles, I come across shit and I'll tag Josh in it right away, because I'm like, well, this could be fun to talk about on Off the Ropes. But I mean, shit, man, that's crazy that Collider's just kind of like, fuck it.
Yeah, like 3 weeks over. Yeah, I mean, it's since it was September 28th, almost 3 weeks since they've had any new content on the site. Yeah. You know, the podcast. Sure, okay.
You'd be like, I'll work from home, what?
Just to get laid off 3 weeks later. But yeah, I know there's a lot of wrestling fans that don't actually like him, because I'll be honest, he tells you his opinion. He's very opinionated. He tells it how it is. Sometimes he rails on people, because he gets real passionate, and he'll rail on somebody if he doesn't like what they're doing, and then people have turned on him for it. He's gotten in feuds with fucking Vince Russo and I think Chris Jericho even.
I don't feel like getting into a feud with Russo is that hard these days.
It's probably not. Watch, we say that. We say that.
Vince Russo sucks.
We say that, and he's probably going to block us on Twitter now. I'll take that as a badge of honor. I will take that as a badge of honor.
Tonight, guys, ladies and gentlemen, Simply Saying J1 is going to tweet at the Vince Russo and be like, "You suck monkey balls."
Love it.
I've seen better writing from my 4-year-old.
It's true. So you know who else sucks monkey balls? This guy right here. That's right.
Hey, isn't he a former world heavyweight champion?
Yeah, maybe. I don't really give a flying fuck. He's a scumbag. For those of you out there who don't know, Mr. Alberto Del Rio, back in, I think it was May, was arrested and charged for sexual assault and for aggravated kidnapping. In the report, it said that, police said that he tied a woman's hands with boxing straps, put a sock in her mouth, and sexually assaulted her for several hours using various objects. He also punched her in the back during the assault, causing visible injuries. So he was finally charged, arrested with this, and it says if he is convicted of aggravated kidnapping in the first degree, and that's just the kidnapping part, he could face a minimum of 5 years in prison and up to a lifetime in prison. If it gets knocked down to second degree, we're looking at a minimum of 2 years and or a fine of up to $10,000. And I have to say, John, when I read that, I got really angry with the fact that the possibility of him only serving 2 years or even just having a $10,000 fine is even there. That angered me so much. This guy needs to be put away with the way what they described him doing. He needs to be gone. What are your thoughts?
You know what the thing is going to be, too? If he ends up in jail, they'll get him. People in jail will get him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He will not last long. Yeah. Not long at all. But, yeah. So, overall, what do you have any other thoughts about that?
Not that I can say out loud.
I mean, you can. This is a rated R show. I don't give a fuck.
He's a fucking piece of shit. I mean, we've known this for a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, we know the shit that he put Paige through when he was dating Paige. I mean, he's just. I ain't got anything positive to say about him. I mean, if it was me, fuck, you've got the evidence you need. Why do we need a jury at this point? Lock him up.
Yeah.
It's not even a. Well, there's a possibility he's innocent this time. Like, there's evidence against him. Lock him up.
Lock him up. Throw that fucking key out. Fucking weld the door shut. I don't care. He gone. All right. So
we're talking about pieces of trash. Let's talk about the next piece of trash.
Yeah. This one, not as bad of a piece of trash, but still quite a piece of trash.
I don't know.
That is this guy here. Mr. Lars Sullivan. John, first, before we get into the actual story, who the fuck is Lars Sullivan?
He's a guy from NXT.
I saw him pop up. How long has he been there? Because I feel like I just recently started seeing him.
Well, he was on an injury. He got hurt during his debut. So they brought him up from NXT. He's supposed to be like the next monster. Think Kane, Undertaker-ish monster. He's a big dude. He's powerful. He's angry. He debuted, and I don't remember what happened. I think it had something to do with his shoulder. It was either like his shoulder or his arm. He did something, and he's been out for the better part of like 8 months, 7-8 months.
Okay, so in other words, he was gone before we started the show back up.
No.
He was gone before Mania.
Yes.
Okay. Because I wasn't watching really all that much before.
No, you weren't.
You know, especially not NXT. And so I was like, who the fuck is this guy? He just comes on the scene and there people are like making this big fucking stink about him. Like, I have no idea who this fucking guy is.
He was getting a lot of shit when he first came up from NXT anyway, because he's got a racist tweet that was like following him around.
Oh, really?
And he was kind of getting some shit backstage for that. And WWE was like, whoa, we didn't know about that. We're really sorry. He got hurt, so it took a lot of the heat off him right away.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden,
out of sight, out of mind. Yeah.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, guys like, hey, the draft is coming. He's clear. Let's get him back on TV really quick. And I'm going to roll this right up into the story, Josh.
Yes.
Out of nowhere, this woman comes forward who runs this yoga, this online yoga thing, and she is accusing him of sending
It's called Yoga for the Athlete.
Yes, Yoga for the Athlete. And apparently she's saying that Lars Sullivan was sending her some very unfriendly messages, which she politely disregarded because she is a happily married woman. And she even gave him like 2 warnings and was like, hey, I'm married. I don't want your extended business. I just want to run my site. I want to do my thing. If you could keep your professional stuff to yourself, that would be great. And it seemed like he was going to back off. And then apparently he was like, oh, it'd be really great if we could like hook up and like you look really good. And
he was like offering to like pay her for sex and for like nudes and like trying to get her to do all this stuff. And she's like, yo, dude, you gotta stop.
And so now all of a sudden, like he's back under the fucking microscope right after he got his debut again.
Yeah.
Bravo for being fucking scum.
They need to just cut their losses and get rid of this guy. Like, I don't understand why. First off, like, I get why Vince wanted him back. Because he's the kind of guy that Vince like has a hard on for.
Oh,
these
absolutely.
Big fucking monster dudes. Vince is stuck in the 80s. You know, like that's the kind of dude that he likes.
Ooh. There's a way to capitalize on this. Okay. So most likely, Lars Sullivan probably won't last long in the company with all these allegations going around. If they keep going the way that the movement has been going, he'll probably get released. So if you're an indie booker, this is what you do. You book Lars Sullivan. You book Joey Ryan, and you put them in a tag team together. You call them the Womanizers, and you just let them get the fucking shit kicked out of them.
Tell their opponents, be as stiff as possible. And not in a sexual way, guys.
Go out there and get stiff. That's not what I meant.
That's not what I meant, guys. That's not what I meant. All right. So that was our final story for Breaking Kayfabe.
Breaking Kayfabe.
And now if you take a look up at that top corner, you'll see that it's time for the main show. And today's main show, as you saw on the main thumbnail, is all about the 2020 draft. That's right. Look at that logo. It's pretty sweet, man. I gotta say,
pretty sweet. Now, Josh and I were talking about different ways to go at talking about the draft. We could either talk about how like each draft happened as they went, or we could break it down per show. Now we discussed that we're gonna go per show, which means the first half of this segment means Josh and I are gonna be going raw. That's right. The one point in the show where Josh and I go raw.
Yeah, man, we go raw all night. Are you trying to show me your nipple?
Is that the wrong raw? Sorry.
Definitely not the raw.
Like Eddie Murphy.
Definitely not the raw I was thinking of. So, okay. So before we get into everything, I noticed something as I was going over all the results from the draft, and we talked about this a little bit off air, but I want to bring it up again. And that is how. So both nights, they were broken down into rounds for the draft. There were 5 picks per round, but Raw got 3 picks, SmackDown got 2 picks on every single round. a total between the two nights, 12 rounds, meaning that Raw got 12 more picks than SmackDown. I want to get your first just quick opinions on that before we dive into what actually happened in the draft.
Honestly, I'm assuming it's because they're trying to like help SmackDown out, but at the same time, I don't know how that helps SmackDown. I know Raw's
it's like
a whole extra hour, but
did SmackDown somehow just like get loaded with a bunch of people and Raw was light or something? Like I don't know what's going on.
Raw has a lot of injuries on it right now.
That's true. So maybe they're trying to even it out. I don't know. It seemed really, I don't know. It just seemed off-putting me that it was that. At first I thought I was reading it wrong. I thought I was like, okay, well maybe the second round will be 3 SmackDown and 2 Raw, and it would go back and forth, but it didn't. Never did.
Huh.
But yes, we are going Raw. So let's start with Raw. And Friday Night SmackDown, Night 1 on October 9th, Round 1. The very first person picked to go over to Raw was none other than the WWE Champion himself, Drew McIntyre. He is going up to the flagship show of Raw. John, thoughts on that?
Drew McIntyre was already on Raw.
Well, it says that's where he's going.
See, this is what confuses me. He's carrying the Raw Championship. Like, he's on Raw.
So this is the question that I had asked you off air. Is the draft including people on their own roster? And it's just like they take the whole talent pool and they just pick.
I'm guessing.
You know what I mean?
That's kind of, okay, so Drew McIntyre to Raw. So that's not really changing anything.
Yeah. And that's why I think when we were confused about the women's titles, I'm pretty sure that's just the way they were.
Probably.
Which means that they're just Raw. So the second pick was the Raw Women's Champion, Asuka. Now, it makes sense if you think about if they're doing it as a like a normal draft, like an actual draft. Not like what WWE has done in the past where everything's just like, oh, we're moving people around. Where it's like an actual draft where like, okay, this person's getting picked, then this person's getting picked. You know what I mean? So it's like, if Raw's up first, of course they're going to keep their champion.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Because if they don't pick Drew McIntyre, SmackDown's going to take Drew McIntyre. You know what
true.
I mean? So it makes sense that they would do it that way. Same for Asuka.
That's fair.
You know?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
but I mean, like I said, I don't really have an opinion on them staying on Raw because they were already on Raw.
Yeah. Then we got this one. We got Raw choosing the Hurt Business. Now they got every member of the Hurt Business with this pick. Like that's wild that they were able to just. So they got the U.S. champ, Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin, Cedric Alexander, MVP, all locked up with one pick. Part of me thinks that's unfair. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, that is a little unfair. Plus, they were on Raw still anyway.
Yeah, because, I mean, if you think about it, like, I don't care about that. It's the fact that they were able to keep 4 people in one pick.
They did that a few years ago with a draft, and I don't remember who it was, but they took the whole group of people as a one foul. Yeah. I think it might have been New Day.
Now, I understand, and speaking of New Day, which obviously we will get to, they get split. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't, like, but the Hurt Business gets to all stay together.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I don't like, is like, why? I can understand a tag team being like, you have to take the whole tag team. Yeah. So it's like, Xavier Woods and Kofi, because they are the champions as a tag team right now. So I understand that, why they would have to take them together. But the Hurt Business, no, that really kind of aggravates me that they have this special treatment and we're just all allowed to stay together and not be split up at all. I don't know. It bothered me. All right, so those were the 3 for round 1 for Raw. Round 2, we had AJ Styles, Naomi, and the women's tag team champions of Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. Anything stick out to you here?
I mean, it's nice to see AJ Styles coming back to Raw.
Yeah. I think that's a good pick. I think that's a solid pickup for Raw. And that's the other thing here is, like I said before, SmackDown's getting shafted.
Oh yeah.
If they're doing this draft the way I think, because I didn't watch the draft. I was just looking at the results. If they did this draft the way that it seems like they did, where they're legitimately picking people from the entire pool of talent, Raw gets first and last pick each round. Yep. And then they get to pick again in the next round. Like they essentially get two picks in a row every single time.
Yep.
And it's like, what the fuck? Plus with them being able to keep a Hurt Business, it's like this whole thing just seems real messed up to me.
Well, the one that I'm really excited for, we haven't gotten to yet. So
yeah, we'll get there. Round 3, we saw Ricochet, Mandy Rose, and the tag team of The Miz and Morrison.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you think about that round?
Yeah, I mean, I'm really glad that we're gonna. I mean, Mandy Rose was coming to Raw anyway. It was part of that whole Otis agreement. I'm really glad.
Obviously, that's why I think with this whole draft, I think anything that may have been in agreement, up in the air. I really do.
I'm really glad that we're going to see Miz and Morrison though on Raw.
But here's my question for you. Like, I mean, I'm not like someone who's like, oh yeah, Ricochet, he's top notch. He's okay. Do you really think he deserved to be picked over a lot of these other people?
Oh no.
Yeah. Why do you think he was so high up? Third round. The third round pick. That seems a little odd to me. I don't know.
Well, look at the other people that got picked in that round. Miz and Morrison? You're going to pick Ricochet over Miz and Morrison?
Exactly, man. Like, come on. SmackDown's first. We're not in that part yet. But SmackDown's first pick of round 3, I'll be totally honest, I'd have picked Miz and Morrison over that person. Now, I don't know how storylined all these picks were because, all previous drafts are all just storyline anyways. Yep. Part of me kind of really wants this to be a legit draft. I think it'd be way more interesting if you got like two people running each show and then they're legit just like, I'm taking this person, I'm taking this person. And that's just the way it is. Fucking deal. Like, I think that would be way more entertaining. Just putting that out there. All right, so round 4, we saw the SmackDown Tag Team Champs of Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods heading over to Raw and splitting up the New Day. Are you crying, John?
A little bit. I was a little sad.
Yeah, it's messed up, man. It's messed up. I'm not happy. I mean, earlier we saw no, we haven't seen that yet. That's later. You and I talked about it. We'll get that. Anyways, yeah. So, like I said, we saw Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods, then Dana Brooke, and then Angel Garza. Not the tag team of Garza and Andrade, just Angel Garza.
Yep.
What are your thoughts on them not taking them as a team?
Honestly, I don't know. I'm kind of shocked that they didn't take them as a team.
Because they've been taking teams all over the place, all night
maybe
already at this point.
They're not an official tag team.
Oh, maybe. I don't know. I mean, they finally had some friggin' uniform gear.
Well, yeah, but
it'd been forever, and they finally got uniform gear. And then who knows what's gonna happen? We'll get to it when we get to it. I did not look through the list ahead of time. I wanted to be surprised as we went through it. So then round 5, which was apparently announced on WWE Talkin' Smack, which is why I changed the name. Or no, it was Raw Talk that I changed the name of, wasn't it? Yeah. I had thought about just doing Talkin' Smack and Raw Talk just to completely rip off the WWE. I'm glad I didn't, though. So for round 5, they took Humberto Carrillo. I don't know if I actually pronounced his name right.
Humberto Carrillo.
Yeah. Tucker, and Drew Gulak.
Yep.
Seems like an odd set of choices, but okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, especially considering they just split up Heavy Machinery.
Yeah.
Who was one of the few actual tag teams that they had.
Yeah. But, it is what it is. Okay, so that was SmackDown. So on Monday Night Raw, night 2 on the 12th, we got a WWE Network exclusive announcement that saw Raw taking Grand Metalik and Lince Dorado. Okay.
Yep.
So then we get to round number 1. Now, here's the interesting thing for me. I don't know if there were certain people that were off limits for night 1 versus night 2, because the first person that Raw takes, there's no way in my mind, if this was a legit draft, that this person wouldn't have been picked up in the first or second round, and that's Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
I'm just like, why did he not get picked up until the second night? You know what I mean? That seems real strange to me. But it is what it is. So then we got Randy Orton and Charlotte Flair. Okay. I don't really care about Charlotte Flair. Love me some Randy Orton, though.
Now, these people going to Raw still, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're still on Raw. So then in round 2, we got Braun Strowman, Matt Riddle, and Jeff Hardy.
That's the one I was waiting for.
Yeah.
My boy Jeff going to Raw.
Yeah, sounds like you're pretty excited for that one there, Johnny Boy.
Dude, because there was a promo that went with it, and it was awesome.
Okay.
So, who was in the ring? Because they were like, I don't remember who it was now, but there was somebody in the ring, and they were talking about how Raw was their place, and Jeff come out and was like, nope. I was here before you. I'm going to be here again, and this is going to be my time, and he kicked shit out of him.
Fair enough. Okay, so for round 3, Raw starts off with another multi-person faction, and that's Retribution.
Yep.
Mustafa Ali, T-Bar, Mace, Slapjack, and Reckoning. All 5 members, Raw. Again, why does Raw get to keep both Hurt Business and Retribution? Why do they get both these giant
Because
factions?
they're feuding with each other right now?
I don't care. They theoretically could do cross stuff. Come on. You telling me they couldn't do that?
True.
And I'm sorry, but if Retribution, aren't they supposed to be heels?
They are.
Why are they having 2 heel factions feud?
Oh, because when the Hurt Business is in the ring, they're face.
Fuck that noise. No, fuck that. They are. Fuck that. They're fucking dirty heels.
That's how it works.
No, I get it, but they're fucking shitty heels, and they need to fucking deal with that. It should have been a SmackDown pick, or Retribution should have been a SmackDown pick.
I should agree.
Raw should not have gotten both of these, and then they could have had some other group of people for Retribution to feud with. I don't care, but it pisses me off that Raw is getting all of the fucking honey in this fucking pot. Fuck.
Nope, I'm with you on that one.
And I'm not even done with round 3. That was just the first pick for them. Their second pick was Keith Lee, followed by Alexa Bliss. Yeah,
Fair.
I love me some Alexa Bliss.
She's pretty cute.
It's true. Round 4 saw Elias, I'll be honest, forgot he was still there. Followed by Lacey Evans and Sheamus. Yeah.
That's a decent pick.
Yeah, just Sheamus, though. No,
I mean, that whole little section's not a bad pick.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely not bad. And SmackDown got some good picks in that round, too, when we get to it. So round 5 saw Nikki Cross, the 24/7 champ, R-Truth.
Wait, what champion?
The 24/7 champ.
You mean the 24/7 7-Eleven Grand Slam? Thank you, ma'am. Wham bam.
Whatever you want to call it, bro. And then someone who I'm not aware of, Daba Kato.
Oh, it's the big dude from Underground that Braun's been feuding with.
Oh, okay.
That's the new name that they've given him.
I didn't know what his name was. Okay. Daba Kato Raw. All right.
Got you.
Yeah. All right. So then we've got round 6, Titus O'Neil. Okay. Didn't realize he was still doing. Like, I knew he was there, but I didn't honestly think he was still active. I thought he was just like backstage kind of stuff. Maybe he still is. I have no idea. But
who knows?
Peyton Royce
Woo-woo!
And Akira Tozawa. Is he still doing that ninja thing?
Yep.
Yeah. Lame.
So one good pick out of that group.
And the final round of the draft for Raw, which was announced on Raw Talk, Lana, Riddick Moss, who I don't know, and Arturo Ruas, which, again, I don't
know. Riddick Moss is somebody from NXT.
I figured as much. I figure Arturo is...
I don't know who the other person is.
Yeah, which is one reason probably why it was announced on Raw Talk.
Probably.
So that was all of the Raw picks. So out of all the Raw picks, give me your thoughts on what they had. I know a lot of them, like you said, were just kind of sticking on the show that they were already on. But we had some switching brands. So
we did have switching brands.
What were your overall thoughts on Raw's picks?
I'm really excited to see what they're going to do with some of the people coming to Raw, especially like New Day.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what they're going to do with Jeff Hardy.
2/3 of the New Day.
Yeah, I mean, we knew New Day's time was coming to an end anyway.
Curious if they'll still call themselves that or not.
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, if you got 2 of them together, you might as well still call them the New Day. Because otherwise they got to come up with a whole new tag team name.
That's true.
And I mean, with
all that new gear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's... And I mean, you got the 2 better members of the New Day together. You just don't have the voice anymore. Because Big E was the one who would be like, "Oh, WWE Universe! Don't you dare be sour! Feel the power!"
Dude, that was one of the best parts, man. Just put that out there.
Oh, come on. You know you wanted to catch one of those fucking pancakes. Don't even lie.
Dude, I'd be eating that pancake. I don't care. It's probably dirty, but I'd still eat it.
We're dancing. It's a New Day dance.
You know, we got Jeff Hardy and AJ Styles going to Raw.
I mean, dude, they ended up getting a bunch of decent picks. Whether or not they're going to bury this talent or allow storylines to actually develop.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, but the thing is, I know a lot of WWE's roster is what you'd consider D-list talent. You know what I mean?
Well.
It's just because they haven't been utilized, so you don't really know them. You know, that's the whole problem.
That's true. You're right.
So, and you heard my rants about some of the stuff with Hurt Business, with Retribution. So there's some issues, but I like some of the choices that they made. I think getting the SmackDown champs, getting Kofi and Xavier, was a good pick for them. You know, I think that they are the better tag team of the 2. Personally, like I love the Street Profits, but I think that New Day is a better overall tag team. That's just my opinion.
Because you don't want the smoke.
Hey, I don't mind the smoke. It's cool. Whatever. But speaking of SmackDown, it is time for a little bit of smack talk. That's right, baby. We're gonna talk some motherfucking smack.
Your penis is tiny.
I'm gonna fucking talk some smack all on your mama. That's right.
No response to mine?
Hey, man. You know what? It's all about how you work with it. It ain't the size of the hammer. It's the nail you're throwing it at, right?
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure all the exes would agree.
Hey, man, I never had a complaint. So, pow. All right. I don't know about you, but Anyway, we're going to get into some SmackDown action. All right, so we are going to get into round 1 of SmackDown. Yes. These will be a little bit shorter as there are only 2 picks per round.
2 picks to the Raw 3. Like you said, man, SmackDown got shafted.
Yeah, especially with Raw getting the big factions, you know. Two picks, and Raw got 9 people out of those 2 picks. Like, that's fucking crazy. Crazy. Yeah. And fucking SmackDown, I mean, why didn't Raw just fucking take Big E? Why did they take the entire New Day? Like, I don't understand.
Well, like I said, I had heard a lot of rumors backstage anyway that Big E wanted to go solo.
I mean, if that's the case, yeah, makes sense.
So, I mean, maybe that's why Xavier came back when he did, because I know Xavier's back right now. He was actually wrestling, so.
Yeah. All right, so I think these first 2 picks pretty they make a lot of sense. Like, I was not surprised. Roman Reigns, the Universal Champion, and Seth Rollins.
Ooh, I'm surprised it wasn't Bayley.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
SmackDown Women's Champion.
I mean, it's funny because you say Bayley, but round 2, their first pick, Sasha Banks.
Okay.
And then followed by Bianca Belair.
So Raw could have stolen Bayley.
Yeah, technically. Again, this is what makes me think it's all the same as usual. Yeah, just all storyline. They're just doing it kind of different. But if it had been legit draft, there's no way Bayley would have stuck around. And I feel like there's no fucking possible way SmackDown would have picked Bianca Belair over the women's champion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it just wouldn't have happened. So,
no.
Yeah, I don't know. So, round 3, we got Jey Uso and Dominic and Rey Mysterio.
So, still no women's champion, even in round 3.
I'm going to tell you this right now. She does not get picked in night 1.
What the fuck?
Yep. She does not get picked in night 1.
Wow.
Yeah.
We're going to take both of our heavyweight champs right now. SmackDown's like, yeah, we'll take Roman. We don't remember who has our champion for the women right now, so we'll get her. We'll take that Bianca Belair chick because she swings her hair.
Yeah. Like seriously, if you look at just night 1, Raw took, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, technically 4, I'll say 4 sets of champions because 2 of them were tag team champions. So on night 1, Raw drafted 4 titles. They drafted the WWE champion, the Raw Women's Champion, the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, and the SmackDown Tag Team Champions. Yeah. Whereas SmackDown literally only drafts the Universal Champion in night 1, and that's it. No US, no IC, not their own fucking women's champion, not the other tag champions, nothing.
Wow.
Oh yeah, because that wasn't on this one. And as we get into it, I mean, fucking WWE picks up other titles in night 2, which we saw, or Raw picks up other titles, as we say, in night 2. So, yeah, it's I don't know why. Like I said, I have to assume that it's all scripted, obviously for the draft. But why would they do that? The only thing I can think of is they wanted to save some champion drafts for night 2. You know what I mean? That's the only thing I can think of. But why stack Raw like that on night 1?
Who knows?
You know what I mean? It just maybe. I don't know. It just seemed real odd to me. I don't know. So then we get into round 4, and this is where we saw Big E. So Raw took Kofi and Xavier, and then right after, the next pick was SmackDown, and they took Big E. You know what I mean? So I feel like they're trying to make it be like, okay, we're going to take the tag team champs, and then SmackDown's like, oh, ha, 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 we're going to break up the New Day and take Big E. When, as we had already saw, when Raw took the Hurt Business, they obviously could have taken the entirety of the New Day. Doesn't seem like there was any rule against it. They didn't. It's not like they had a certain number of draft picks, and picking a whole faction would count against that certain number of draft picks.
Unless they were only allowed to draft them as the tag team champions and not the entity.
So then why the Hurt Business? Getting that? Why did they get
preferential treatment? They don't have
treatment?
tag team titles. They only have the United States Championship.
Oh, yeah. So, okay. Sorry. I forgot about that. They got that title, too, on night one.
Yeah.
They got the U.S. title as well. I forgot because I was just looking and I saw the Hurt Business. Didn't even look inside of it.
I don't know. I don't have, like you said, it's a fucking scripted out part of it.
It's a fucking mess, man. Like, it doesn't make any sense for whatever they're trying to do here. It bothers me. So like I said, they got Big E, and then SmackDown drafts Mr. Money in the Bank, Otis.
Woo!
So they get to keep the money in the bank, I guess. And then for round 5, they got Murphy and Kalisto. A very, very lackluster SmackDown for night 1, which is funny because night 1 was on SmackDown.
Yeah.
You'd think that SmackDown would have had the emphasis on their own show.
You would think so.
But no, Raw had all the emphasis. Yeah.
No, Raw had all the emphasis on SmackDown. Holy shit.
That's what I said. They had all the emphasis.
Yeah.
Raw had all the emphasis. Yeah.
Wow.
It doesn't make, it's like they're trying to shit on SmackDown.
Yeah.
Because they know for a long time, SmackDown was kind of the better show.
Yeah, it kind of was.
I mean, it might even still be. I don't know. I don't watch as often as I should. But so then we get into night 2, and then we get the exclusive network announcement of SmackDown drafting Shorty G.
Because that's an important draft.
I thought you'd love it, just because. All right, and so then we get into round 1 of here, and this is where SmackDown starts taking some titles. We get the SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley and the Raw Tag Team Champions, the Street Profits.
Yeah.
So I just don't understand why. Because if you go through and look at the whole thing, Raw drafted 6 titles. SmackDown winds up drafting 4.
Yep.
It's like, why do they? It just bothers me so much that they're putting all, like, I understand Raw's their 3-hour flagship show.
You know what I just realized?
What?
Unless it hasn't been said yet, does anybody draft Sami Zayn?
Yeah, it's coming up.
Okay, never mind. Then we'll get to that, I guess.
Yeah.
At least the title's staying on show.
Yeah.
But let's talk about, while we're here for a second with this draft pick, let's talk about what happened with this draft pick.
With the Street Profits?
Backstage, and they're celebrating their draft. And here come the New Day. And, New Day are winning the SmackDown championships, and Street Profits have the Raw championships.
Which doesn't make sense. Like, you really can't have the SmackDown titles on Raw and the Raw titles on SmackDown. Doesn't make sense.
And since they're color specific, there's this guy in a suit comes walking in, and he's like, look, guys, WWE said that they don't really want to have you guys fight for these. They think the easiest way to do this would be you guys just swap the championships. And it's really funny because one of the Street Profits, it's not Montez Ford, it's Dawson. As Dawson's handing his over, he's like, be careful with her, and he's got a name for the championship. It was kind of funny. Oh, so they just swapped the titles, which I thought was actually kind of cool.
See, what I think they should do, stop calling them like the Raw Tag Team titles or the SmackDown Women's title. It should be the WWE Tag Team titles and the Universal Tag Team titles. The WWE Women's title, the Universal Women's title. Have them go along with the men's title, like the main titles, and then you wouldn't have that situation. You wouldn't have to worry about it. So
they can do exactly what they did with the Universal strap when it changed last year's draft. It just changed the color of the fucking straps.
Exactly. So, like, the Street Profits would have been the WWE Tag Team Champions. And who cares what show that is on? That doesn't matter. It's not show specific. And so then Raw would have the Universal Tag Team Champions. Okay, cool. And they could have done they could have swapped other things around. They could have swapped Asuka and Bayley if they'd wanted to without having to do this a second time.
Yep.
You know? So, I don't know. I think it's just, I don't like, I like there being a brand split. I do like that, but I don't like that the titles are named brand specific.
Yes.
I just like you have the Intercontinental Championship on one, you got the US Championship on one. Okay, they're not brand specific. They're just two titles. One show has one show has the other. Okay.
Well, I told you a couple months ago when we recorded one of the episodes, I don't understand why the women's championships are Raw Women's Champion, SmackDown Women's Champion anyway.
Ever since you said that, because you said it should have been like that, and ever since you said that, it's been stuck in my brain. I'm like, why isn't it like that? It should be that. Yeah.
It should be the WWE Women's Championship and the WWE Women's Universal Championship.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I understand they're the women's championships, but it should be the WWE Women's Championship and the
Universal
Champion. Or the WWE Universal. Well, I mean, yeah.
They don't say WWE Universal. It's just the Universal.
Yeah, champion. It'd be the Universal Women's Championship.
Yeah, that's what it should be. There's no, and the same for the tags. Same for the tags. Yeah.
Yeah, you could have the WWE Tag Team Championships, and you can have the Universal Tag Team Championships.
Exactly. Like I hate that it's Raw and SmackDown because it kind of makes them all sound not as prestigious. What?
Makes them sound generic.
Oh yeah, 100%. 100%. Yeah. All right, so then we get into round two. That was a nice discussion on round one. So we get into round two. Daniel Bryan and Kevin Owens. Solid.
Former enemies.
Yeah, I like it though. Those are some solid picks. As we saw in night one, they had a real lackluster pick. A lot of their picks, it was whatever. That I like these picks.
That's a solid pick, yes.
Then round three, we saw Lars Sullivan getting drafted onto SmackDown, and King Corbin.
Woo!
I don't really care about him either. I just don't care. It's not like I necessarily dislike him. I'm just he doesn't move the needle for me.
It is funny though that they drafted them in the exact same time though, because Lars Sullivan's going to SmackDown, and Corbin's finisher is called the End of Days. And if everything goes accordingly, Lars Sullivan's going to see his End of Days soon.
Oh, I love it. All right.
Don't block me.
All right, so round four, we get the Intercontinental Champion Sami Zayn and the tag team of Shinsuke Nakamura and Cesaro.
Oh, wow. They kind of drafted all three of those guys together. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I thought that was nice.
They were the artist collective.
Yeah, they should have just continued to call themselves that. Maybe they could have gotten drafted all at once. Just like the Hurt Business. Just saying, man. Why can't Retribution fight those guys?
Right.
Why couldn't Retribution have been on SmackDown and then fought those guys? I'm just saying. Where's the SmackDown hacker? Wasn't that supposed to be Mustafa Ali?
Yeah, but they've confirmed that he was the hacker.
Oh,
and then all of that worked into the storyline.
Okay. So then maybe he should have stayed on SmackDown then. I'm just saying. Whole lot of BS there. I'm not going to stop calling them bullshit on all these Raw picks. Just saying. Okay, so round 5, we saw another tag team getting drafted to SmackDown. That is Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode.
Yeah!
And then we have one person who has been at odds with another set of people, and now they will no longer be on the same show, and this person is Apollo Crews.
Well, I mean, that's good for him. At least he won't be dealing with all that Hurt Business bullshit anymore.
Yeah, he can finally do his own thing. Maybe get a title run coming up or something. Maybe him and Sami Zayn have a feud or something, you know?
Oh, yeah. Actually,
do an IC run. I would dig that. All right. Round 6 started off with John's favorite female wrestler, Carmella.
Yeah. Fabulous.
Shit, that's funny.
Melody.
And then one of John's favorite male wrestlers, Aleister Black.
He's not bad.
You love his entrance, don't you?
What's that?
So you love his entrance, don't you?
They changed his entrance.
Oh, did they?
Damn.
He doesn't rise up out of nowhere?
They repackaged him a little bit.
Oh, okay.
He's not wearing tune in. Now he's wearing like full pants.
Nice. I'm finally caught up on a lot of my other stuff, so I think I could actually start watching again and not getting bogged down anymore. I've gotten to a point in my life where things have been good. I've been actually keeping up on stuff. So
better knock on wood.
Wait. Got it. You knew what I was doing.
On camera.
And then for the final round, the last 2 picks, which were announced on Raw Talk, Natalya and the tag team, the Riot Squad.
Woo-woo!
Yeah. A little disappointed that they got on, that theirs was on Raw Talk. They didn't even get to be on, theirs wasn't even on the main show. That seems a little sad, but yeah, so that is the 2020 WWE Draft. John, overall thoughts on the draft?
Well, I mean, you're absolutely right. I mean, Raw got a hell of a lot more people. Mm-hmm. SmackDown got some decent people, though, in their polls. So, I mean, overall, I think I'll give it 3 months to see where storylines are going to go and develop and what we're going to work with. But I'm excited overall.
I have a question for you. You may know the answer to this. Where are the Viking Raiders?
Both of them are injured.
Okay. Because neither were on this list.
Injured during a match. Remember, he went for the Suicide Squad and he threw up his own axe.
Oh, yeah.
And then Eric was already off television because of it. Okay. Eric got surgery on his arm done that he's been putting off.
Okay.
So both of them right now are on the injured list.
Where do you think they'll go?
Theoretically, they'll probably come back to Raw, but I would love to see them either go to NXT, where they'll get utilized properly, or go to SmackDown.
Okay.
But I have a feeling they're probably going to go back to Raw.
Yeah. I mean, you're probably right. And
now, in this time,
I think they'll get overshadowed if they go back to Raw because of how much they got going on.
I'm hoping, though, that in this time frame of them being off, Eric was in good shape. I'm hoping Ivar can slim down a little. Maybe put on a little bit more muscle. Yeah. Because Eric was fucking tight, dude. And, I mean, we both know Ray Rowe. He lives a fucking dedicated life. That man is all about himself and his family. And that is awesome. But I feel like, metaphorically speaking, not the way I'm going to say it, he was carrying the weight of that tag team.
Oh, yeah.
He's a fucking hard hitter, and the dude was putting on great matches. And sometimes I felt like, everybody's like, well, Ivar over there. And I'm like, yeah, but fucking Eric's fucking kicking the ass.
I agree. I agree. I mean, Ivar was he had some funny stuff, but I do agree with you. I think that Eric was the better of the two. So hopefully that they can do something with them. I don't know. We'll see.
So to answer your question, yes, I did know why both of them were off of television for not get drafted.
Good. Oh, another one. Is Andrade injured?
No, but I thought Garza was.
But because Andrade, not on this list.
Nope. Which I thought was kind of weird.
So here's the question. Are there free agents? Are there other people not on these lists? You know what I mean?
Essentially, usually what happens is they do the main drafting, and then other people just kind of get divided up after the draft is over.
Yeah. So it's I'm curious where certain thing. I'm fascinated to see. I think I'm going to go back and watch yesterday's SmackDown and see what the kind of fallout from all this was over on SmackDown, and then watch Monday Night Raw to kind of see what happens there. Because I'm actually really interested to see what the fallout of this draft will be and where everything will be. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Got any final thoughts about the draft or anything else going on in the world of wrestling?
I have one final thought.
Okay.
Well, let me tell you something, brother. There's something big. There's something we need to talk about. And that is, and was talked about already, but I'm bringing it back. Let's talk about the Bray Wyatt doll for the holidays. Ladies and gentlemen, for $19.99 plus tax and deposit and a whole shipping fee, you can bring that little doll to my living room, where I will enjoy it and love it and cherish it. And I will not call him George, because that is the Fiend. But ladies and gentlemen, I want it. I need it. I need it. And Josh will fight anybody in the parking lot just to get two. One for me, one for him. Because both of our kids would definitely enjoy those, and we're both poor.
It's true. And it's only $20, guys. I mean, heck, if you really want, just Cash App it to me. My cash tag is MercTrader22. If you want to Cash App me $20, I will say thank you. I'll even give you a shout out right here on the show.
I don't even know what my Cash App handle is. Hold on. Hold on.
But I mean, look at this thing. It's only $20. It's awesome. And look at those little penis hands. It's fantastic.
Mine is $JMade1. You can also Cash App me $20. I will play with it on television, on the recording for you, and not my penis.
I can't guarantee that he won't stroke those little arms, though. I don't know, man.
No.
He very well might.
Like Josh said, that's everything we've got for Off the Ropes today. Josh, tell the ladies and gentlemen where they can find you.
You can find me on Twitter at JP Raynor. That's JPRAYNOR. Or right there at Movie Blog Merc. That is the Twitter handle for my site, Merc with a movie blog. It's a movie site that I do. I also have a podcast network for it. All kinds of stuff going on over there. MercWithAMovieblog.com. And if you're into DC Comics, check me out over on DC Comics News at DC Comics News on all the social medias. John, where can they find you?
Well, they can find
crazy ramblings of things that go on in your life.
I mean, they can find me on Twitter here. Simply Sane J1. I have a podcast called Simply Sane with Jay. I just posted last week a new episode about
simulated reality. Yeah, buddy.
It wasn't a long episode, but it was definitely a thought-provoking episode. Mm-hmm. Josh, hypothetically speaking, this is a simulated reality. You into that kind of thought process?
Hey, man, you know what? It explains some stuff in ways that other things don't explain it, and you know what? It's just about as possible as almost anything else. In my,
boom! You heard it, Josh. Said it's possible. I'm also clearly here. I mean, I'm really hoping that people are enjoying what we're doing here on Off the Ropes, since we've started doing it a lot differently than we used to do Off the Ropes. And if you haven't checked that out, go on YouTube, Off the Ropes. I mean, we're there. I mean, it's a history lesson, but we're there.
Dude, one of these days, we should just do a special episode where we cap off the Attitude Era that we never finished.
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to see that, let us know.
Oh, shit. Yeah, I mean, if you want to see some special episodes just in general, let us know. We do have a Patreon. It's Off the Ropes JJ over there. It's patreon.com/Off the Ropes JJ. Pretty sure we don't have anybody, but I mean, I would love to start doing content for it.
And ladies and gentlemen, go to anchor.fm/Off the Ropes JJ. Leave us a voice message. I mean, that's there. Russell, Chad, anybody else who's listening. I don't know who else listens besides those two people.
I know. I have no idea.
Ladies mean, there's clearly people listening because I know Josh goes on the Anchor app and it says people are listening.
Yeah, we got some listeners. I mean, maybe not a ton, but we do have some. And
People,
those of you out there,
you are in the comments.
And I know some of you motherfuckers are watching this on YouTube, so you best be doing something.
I know, right? Like, go down in the comment section, just say, "Hey, listen to this podcast. My name is so and so." We will give you a personal shout out.
It's true. Do it, and don't forget, $20. It's a cash tag Creator 22.
Oh, but if they ain't got $20,
I'll take 10. I don't remember what you said yours was. So
it's $J made 1.
The $, John, is called a cash tag.
Cash tag,
like a hashtag, but for cash.
There. So cash tag J made 1.
There it is. $20, people. Come on.
$20.
Make our Christmas special.
Let them in. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, for Off the Roast with John and Josh, I am John.
And I am Josh.
And we are down
for the count. That's right. Catch you guys on the flippity flop. Pow, 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 pow.